Dakota. And Olympic countdown. The Vancouver Winter Games open in just 100 days. Well, you saw the royal plane leaving St. John's to head to Toronto, and as part of the royal visit to Canada, the Prince of Wales will be getting down to business, literally. He's going to take part in a roundtable discussion with some of Canada's top business leaders this afternoon. My next guest will be at that meeting. She is the fly on the wall. Adine Mees is the president of Canadian Business for Social Responsibility. That is the organization hosting the event. She joins me now in studio. This is old hat for you. I hear that you and Prince Charles are fast friends because you've met him 4 times already.
I have. I've been fortunate enough to go to London to meet him there, talk to him about climate change and business action on homelessness, those kinds of things.
So now he's coming to your hood.
He is.
What's your plan?
Well, we're bringing together about 35 Canadian business leaders, chief executives, board directors, to talk about what the role is of the leader. What's the role of the individual leader in terms of bringing a company close to sustainability? So we've talked about how business needs to take action on climate change. We know that's important. Business has a huge role to play. Well, what's the role of the leader in inspiring their people to make those changes happen? And so the Prince is here to join an ongoing conversation with Canadian CEOs and to participate actively. He's curious to hear about Canadian best practices.
And how much time do you have to actually hear from him?
He'll be with us for an hour.
So in an hour, you want to accomplish, get his points of view as well. How much influence does he really have? Because we have been seeing small numbers when he was down east in St. John's and Cupid's, et cetera, in Newfoundland. But the influence that the Prince wields, what would you peg it as?
Yeah, it's interesting. His staff asked that prior to the trip to Canada. Yeah. How does Canada feel about the Prince of Wales? And my answer is they don't really know him that well. And I think that that's sad for Canada. This is someone who is passionate about global issues, poverty, climate change, and who uses his influence to bring people together to make solutions happen. He's all about accountability. And in London, in England, he's recognized for that, and I think there's a growing appreciation for his role. Canada, we're not there yet, so I'm hoping we get to see more of him and get to know him a bit better and make that connection to him that we haven't been able to make yet.
You used the word passionate. When you met him, was that the word that popped into your head? Prince Charles is passionate?
He is passionate about climate change, and he's passionate about finding solutions. And if it's not-for-profits like our little not-for-profit, or if it's large, big brand businesses and companies, he wants to bring us all in the room, and he wants us to find those solutions together.
In setting this up, you mentioned you spoke with those who were planning the royal tour, et cetera. What sorts of rules did you have to fulfill in terms of numbers, in terms of safety, security, access, all that kind of stuff?
Well, the Ontario government has a fantastic office, so they take care of most of that. In fact, they organize the venue for us, and there's lots of stuff that happens behind the scenes. We really just work on the content, making sure the right people are in the room. And from the previous times that I've met him, he's very informal and very warm. So I'm not that concerned about the protocol piece of it, and I know the people behind the scenes are going to make sure that everything
Do you
is very
curtsy
smooth.
when you meet him?
I do not, but you can if you wish.
And are you giving him a present?
We are giving him a silver loon present and a little card of thanks.
Excellent. Adine Mees, I wish you the best. You look fabulous for your princely wear, and I hope you have a great time. Thank you for taking the time. Adine Mees joining us here in studio, President and CEO of Canadian Business for Social Responsibility. Well, what with all the lineups and the shortages of H1N1 vaccine, you might get why some folks in Alberta are fuming right now over the Calgary Flames. Last week, the NHL team and players' families all got flu shots at a private clinic. Brooks DeCelia looks at the controversy and the groups getting priority now in Alberta.
The Flames are being